Liz McDonald last updated 0500, August 25, 2017. Christchurch Amey Stadium will host no more All Blacks rugby tests until at least 2020. Canterbury will miss out on All Black rugby tests at least until 2020. Following the All Blacks' absence from Christchurch temporary rugby stadium this season, the city has been left off the test schedule for both 2018 and 2019. Nelson and Dunedin will be the only centres in the South Island to host tests next year. Christchurch proposed multi-use arena could have a steel roof and a retractable turf. The last test match in Christchurch was the All Blacks v South Africa fixture in September 2016. The Lions Tour test matches bypassed Canterbury this winter. Read more. Parties expected to make pledges on stadium shortfall. New Christchurch Arena could have solid roof and retractable playing field. Who will pay for shortfall in Christchurch? Proposed new stadium. Phil Gifford. Let's talk about a new stadium for Christchurch. Canterbury Rugby will not pay to help build a stadium in Christchurch. British and Irish Lions fans in Wellington, who helped lift New Zealand's hospitality spending by $23 million. New Zealand Rugby set aside its usual 30,000 minimum capacity rule for tests after the earthquakes to allow international games at Christchurch's 17,000-seat temporary Amey Stadium. In 2011, New Zealand Rugby Union Chief Executive Steve Tew said there would be test matches as long as the facility is in place. Canterbury Rugby Football Union Chief Executive Nathan Godfrey said the 2018 and 2019 schedules were disappointing news for Canterbury Rugby fans. We understand that there are clear criteria for awarding All Black games. We need to accept that we no longer meet that criteria with the current facilities and infrastructure. That is just the reality we now face. Tasman Rugby Union Chief Executive Tony Lewis and Nelson Regional Development Agency Chief Executive Mark Rawson at Trafalgar Park with plans for the 21,000-plus seating for an All Blacks test. Godfrey said the union had worked hard, alongside the Christchurch City Council and its Economic Development and Tourism Agency Christchurches, to secure an All Blacks test for the city. We expect that our fans will be disappointed, but we also feel for the local businesses that benefit from major events. The news was further acceptance the city needed a world-class venue to attract international entertainment and major sports events, like the All Blacks. Godfrey said, the economic benefits are well documented. This is not about rugby, we are only a part of the conversation. During this year's Lions Tour, hospitality spending across New Zealand jumped by $23 million. The permanent Christchurch Stadium option, preferred by both the City Council and central government, would hold 25,000 seats with capacity to add 5,000 for big events. That option has been costed at $496 million. Tom Hooper, chief executive of Christchurches, called the test match allocation disappointing, but said it was good the South Island had not been excluded. Understandably, Christchurch fans will be disappointed to not host a test match in 201,819, but I know there are plenty of South Island fans who will be excited to see the All Blacks at Trafalgar Park in Nelson. He said a new Smarty Technology Stadium in Christchurch, catering for a wide range of events for at least 40 years, was essential. That means it needs a roof. The costs of major investments like a new stadium are high, but so too is the cost of not having a large, all-weather venue. Hooper said Christchurches would continue trying to put Christchurch in the best possible position to secure future opportunities. Getting test match rugby for our region is important and something we'll be working hard towards achieving. In a schedule announced on Friday, 6 rugby tests will be played in 4 New Zealand cities next year. Auckland, Wellington and Dunedin will each host one All Black game against France, while 3 rugby championship matches will be played in Auckland, Wellington and Nelson. The Nelson rugby fixture followed a joint effort by the Nelson City Council, Tasman Rugby Union, and Nelson Regional Development Agency, plus some private sector funding. The test will see the park's seating expanded from 7,000 to 21,000. Christchurch temporary Amey Stadium will be the venue for a 2017 Rugby League World Cup match between New Zealand and Scotland, followed by a quarter-final in November. Stuff.